talk quite a bit about heartbreak, and we spoke about that slightly at the beginning. I want to touch on it a bit more. Heartbreak's obviously such a hard thing for so many people. What do we do,
Yeah.
or how do we deal with a lover or even a friend who has broken our heart, who has moved on, and we still feel the pain?
I mean, it's a great question. And again, just because, we're fast friends, we've known each other for all of an hour, but I feel I can speak to you directly.
Yes.
Your question's inaccurate, right? So no one's ever broken your heart
Mm.
unless someone's literally got like an axe and like put it through your sternum and which you look pretty together to me. So I think you're all right. So,
I'm okay. I'm
the
okay.
expression broken, yeah. The broken heart is, it's melodramatic, it's romantic, it's contextual. I
Mm.
get it. But to me, a broken heart is an open heart. So, I once did a workshop, this is many years ago, and it was about relationships. And someone asked me a question. They said, God, like, you just seem so at peace. You seem so happy. Like, how can I get there? And I'm always a bit of a smart ass. So I said, here's the answer: fall madly in love with somebody, and then I hope they leave you and completely shatter your heart. Right. So that because
Yeah, yeah.
that's the opening, where you find love. So
It reminds
so
me of that.
really,
It reminds me of the Rumi quote: "The wound is a place where the light enters you."
yes, beautiful. Absolutely. So a broken heart is an open heart. And invariably, it's not until such time that we have our heart broken. Again, we're just playing with words here.
Yeah.
That we actually get the experience of what love is, right? So in your question, whether it be a loved one or a friend that leaves you, even the connotation of leave you, they didn't leave you, they went wherever they went, right? They went to the bathroom, they went to the living room, they went to a different town. Like, that's your story. That, well, it hurts if you think they left me, versus no, they moved to Perth. It's like that's what happened. It's like, right.
Those are
So
the
that's
facts.
it.
They left to
Yeah,
Perth.
exactly. Yeah. So what happened? Like, as I said, oh, friend that I miss, they moved to Sydney. It's like, okay, great. So yeah, I get it. I'm playing with you so we can bring some
Yeah.
light relief, because oftentimes when people are struggling, that's what they need. But in terms of the energetics of what's happening, yes, of course, my own story, the girl that left me, I fell apart, I couldn't sleep, I was depressed. We could say that was my broken heart, until I got, oh no, actually, that was life taking care of me, because I was living in a world of fear of loss, which is a miserable way to live. I didn't know it, and I was a very happy, vital, vibrant human being doing well, but there was this sort of, you know constraint that I was oblivious to, that was holding me back from bigger potential. So I would assert that if someone, quote unquote, leaves you, or there is some heartache, you're
Mm.
upset, you miss someone, you're sad. First of all, there's organic feelings. Let's not suppress those. If you're sad, you miss someone. When my dad died, it would be completely asinine if I was to say, no, no problem, he just died. Of course, I've got human feelings. I was very sad. I missed him for a long time. So we got to be able to distinguish between inherent innate feelings, which are beautiful, versus emotions that get created over time that are really revealing some sense of inadequacy about yourself, right? Oh, they left me. Okay, that might be, quote unquote, the story of what happened. But if that hurts, it might be because you feel you're not lovable. Ooh, well, now we're into your story. Not, it's got nothing to do with them. It could have been Bob, Dick, or Harry. It wouldn't have made any difference. It's not, you don't miss Bob. It's, you're worried that you don't, no one loves you. And that's because when you were 5, your sibling got more attention than you, and you made it mean that. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes,
You've got
yes,
to be able
yes.
to recognize the different layers of what's actually going on. So to finish, in regards to that question, I would say the beauty of having your heart, quote unquote, broken, is that now, as a human being, you have the opportunity, I don't want to say you have to, but you have the opportunity to learn to love. Because if it weren't for that, you don't have to learn the capacity to love the part of you that is currently suffering.
Yes.
So
How
it's still a gift.
I find that a lot of people in those situations find it so hard to let go. Like they could have been in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship 2 years ago and
Mm-hmm.
the person left them to go to Perth, and and
Everyone's
they
going to
still
Perth.
and they still might go on about them, or
Yeah.
they are unable to kind of move on. What would you say to someone who is in that situation?
They're living a lie. They don't understand the nature of life. You know, they're not trusting. There's the absence, really. The main quality is the absence of trust, that in ways that perhaps they don't understand right now. That's precisely what was supposed to happen. It's one of my, I gave more popular quotes. You know, I write in quotes.
Yes.
And the one that's been propagated the most around the social media webs is that what happened happened and couldn't have happened any other way because it didn't. Now, it's
Oh, the best.
right. What happened happened and couldn't have happened the other way because it didn't. Right. So it's a little
Yeah.
bit in your face, but it's also very powerful when you go, oh, okay. It's not to deny the fact that you miss them or you're sad, but it couldn't have happened the other way because it didn't. And you may not have the conscious understanding or the justification or the realization as to why yet, but maybe in a week, maybe in a month, you will. Maybe once you energetically let go, like I said to your question about, you know, you can't create the life of someone you don't yet perceive yourself to be. Once you let go of the version of you that was attached to that person, and you raise your vibration in the way that you've learned to accommodate and accept that life is doing something on your behalf, it might not seem like that, then there is a greater sense of trust from which you attract a different circumstance that all of a sudden explains the previous one. It's like, oh, then the next best, whatever it is, it's a
Yes.
partner, it's a job, it's, you know, shows up because you have communed with life in a way that you're not the center of the universe. Like, again, I find it so audacious that anybody thinks they know how life should go. I mean, it's like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I didn't get the memo that you're in charge of the universe and that
Yeah.
person shouldn't have left you. It's like, I mean, it's when you really look at it, it's kind of comical. It's like, I mean, there's an intelligence at play that when you cut your finger, something like magical happens and it heals. Like, you don't do anything. I mean, you might put some like neosporin and maybe a band-aid on it or something, but otherwise there's a genius to life that allows that finger to heal. I mean, that's like magic. So maybe consider that intelligence is ubiquitous, it's everywhere. And if the events of your life aren't unfolding perfectly in accordance to mighty old you, maybe, just maybe, there's a deeper intelligence that's also doing that. And perhaps have a little more humility and trust that things are actually right on track.